Hi, I am Nolana Lynch, one of the 2025-2026 Archer and Olive ambassadors. In today's video, I'm excited to share a travel journal scrapbooking type layout from a beach trip we did last month. You will be thrilled to know I use a mix of washi, stickers from collections, and I just love how it turned out. As always, you can use code NOLANA10 for 10% off of anything you order in Archer and Olive. And also, please check out the blog post for all the details about how this spread came together. Let's get into today's video. So I kick things off with cutting down this photo. I use a 4x6 photo paper for this, and I printed 4 photos in total. I sized them to about 2.7 by 3.5 because I wanted a full Polaroid look. I left a white border around my photos and some space below, which I'll add some stamping. You can add the date, embellishments, anything you'd like as well to these photos. So I got out my B5 journal, which I used for my travel journal this year. I've documented a trip to New Zealand before that, so you're welcome to check that one out on my channel. And then I go through now and I'm documenting our trip to Byron Bay. I decided to do one layout for this because I want to do a bigger album for this trip later on in the year, but for now, just documenting some of the highlights was just nice. I love this alpha set that came in the Wondrous Skies, a subscription box. And I was able to get, some beautiful blues, yellows, and whatnot to kind of maintain that beachy theme. I also pulled out these white flowers from the Snowdrops collections, and I thought those would be nice to frame the title on the left and right-hand side of the page. So once I added that sticker in there, I'm going in now and I'm going to pull out some letters for the title Summer Trip. I was kind of thinking what would be best, like summer holidays, road trip, vacation, beach vacation, so with a kit like this, the possibilities are endless because you have so many of each letter. So I really loved having that. And so I go through and I pull out all the letters for Summer Trip Byron Bay, taking a while to choose between which font I would want to work with for each one, a capital versus a common letter, to get that kind of mixed matched look happening for the title. So it is quite fun. I mean, they are cut out in different shapes. So it gives you a very oh gosh, that trend with the kind of pull out letters type look, but without you having to, collage and pull letters out of magazines for yourself. So, and it's also great because it's a common theme throughout, galaxies, skies kind of thing. So that also helps. And once I got those in and those down and choosing my letters, I move on to the other parts of the layout. So I really love how this title came together. And now I'm just going to align the photos onto the page to get a better idea of how I want to add some deco stickers above it to create a sort of artsy leafy border. A lot of times on the beach there are these kind of tall grasses as well on the break, like between the sand and, for example, the roadway or the end of a sandbank. And when I was looking through my Archer and Olive stickers to try and find something beach themed, I felt like these reeds, and some of them have some bits of water. I mean, they may be ponds, but it still gave me the feel of some of the beaches in those areas. So I decided to add these as well because we do have at least 3 photos where we're actually on the beach. So I didn't necessarily need to have photos with more beach, water, sand theme, but the grass added like a nice boundary, similar to the grass boundary on the actual beach. I thought that was pretty cool to add in. And these stickers are quite lovely. They're from Swan Pond, and I believe they're still in the shop. I quite love them, and I'm really enjoying having layering them across this page, creating that border, and also creating a space above for journaling. A lot of time when I'm doing a layout like this, I like to kind of stagger the photos. But in this scenario, I felt like I wanted to create some straight lines with the photos below, journaling above, title on top, sticker border in the middle. And I'm quite just kind of loving that linear look. So yeah, going through, picking out some flowers as well, seeing what I like from previous collections, and just pulling out those bits and pieces. I believe actually these are from Gentle Breeze, and that other one I just saw was from Swan Pond. So just a correction on that. The digitals are also available on the Arch and Olive website. So if it is that the physical products are no longer there, you should be able to find the digital products, print them out, or if you have a cutting machine, print and cut, easy to use. So now that I have that done, I'm thinking maybe I could add a washi just to create a distinct border above the photos. There's this nice one from Treasured Map, which is a dark green with gold anchors, but then there are also these purple with kind of, leafy green, and I like how the purple matched with the title above. So I felt like that was a good opportunity to add it in. And it so happened that with the thickness of this washi tape, I was able to kind of it was the exact size below for the photos, the exact length or height of the photos. So that worked out perfectly, because I didn't have to cut down anything. And then I'm just using my stencil here to get that extra bit off, and just lining them up to make sure everything's fine. And it is, I love double checking just in case I missed anything. And then I'm going straight across on the other side as well. Depending on what you like, you can cut the washi tape off in the middle there if you're wanting it to just fit in a bit more snugly, but I just use my finger to pop it in the middle and keep it down. So loving that, loving how it's coming together. I'm really into like lilacs and purples right now, and so this is making me really happy. So heading on to kind of just put some stamping on the photos later, but first let me add in my journaling. So writing out how I felt about this trip, it was actually our first time going to this destination in summer. We usually visit in cooler months, and so it was pleasant. It was very hot for me. But it was nice in that we were actually able to like swim in the beach, and the kids had a great time. They were in their swim gear, and as opposed to being laid up in autumn or winter clothing. So that worked out well, and now I'm going to stamp in this sentiment which says I want to remember this onto each photo. So I'm using black archival ink to do this. You can also use the legacy ink, which will work really well. And then going in and just doing the same with the others. So making some space to do that. And at first I was thinking about, for the first photo, adding the date on that one on the base, and then adding, I want to remember this on the two in the middle, and the end date of the trip on the furthest picture, because I laid the pictures out based on the day of the week it was for the trip. So that would have been a great way to do it, but I thought I wanted to have the same things along the base of each one, and then go in and add the date after is what I decided to do. I was thinking about whether I wanted to add the date like on the page itself, about right below the journaling or even above. So between the title and the journaling, body of journaling. But in the end, I decided to add it to each photo since they were taken on different days. I'm adding in this gold dot from the Soft Nature Planner Kit. I thought that would be cute to add in. And then I found one of my oldest date stamps and added that in as well with some black ink. So just using that and popping it on there. And it didn't go all the way, so I just kind of did it 3 or 4 times to create a kind of artsy look. But the other 3 thankfully turned out quite well. So popping that on there, making sure I have the right dates. One of the things I love about the date stamps is just kind of how organic it looks, but then it also is hard to get like a perfect impression sometimes, especially the first time. So I guess one of my tips would be probably to go in and do a test piece before doing your first print to just kind of feel of where will give you the full impression, the angles and whatnot, and then moving on to the actual photos or thing that you are trying to snap. So now I have the last date going on here, and I'm going to add my photos to my layout. I'm really excited about how this is coming together. And so I'm just going to pop that down and add some tacky glue to the back of the photo. And yeah, so just gonna use my favorite tacky glue here and gently apply it to the page, kind of tapping on the corners. Sometimes I go in with like my forearm if I have a sleeve on, or just a piece of packaging, something smooth and clean on your desk to kind of just press the photo down so that it doesn't bubble up. But I use a very thin layer of glue to do this. And I'm just going now to add them in one by one. I thought about a few different ways that I could do this layout, but I pretty much love how this looks. It's a bit different from some things that I've tried in the past. And so, yeah, it kind of gives me like, kind of with the lettering a bit of, art vintage journaling vibe. But then the leaves and the stickers are, quite clean, breezy, light, airy, and then down to the beach photos. So love having those themes happening throughout the layout. And yeah, adding in this last photo here. And this would be pretty much the end of my layout and my time here with you. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Please let me know in the comments below if you do any travel journaling, scrapbooking, or documenting your life anyway. I'd really love to know. And I'm grateful for you being here. I'd love to hear things and that you would love to see coming through the ambassadors, and please check out the blog post and Instagram.